Okay, so we're just going to touch base on a couple of on the whole machine, on just kind of what we call watt. So we call this the bail finger. We call this the lift arm. So we got the two cylinders here that lift this arm up. So as the finger closes, lift arm comes up. We refer to these as our guide rollers. So this guides as the bale comes into the chamber. We come up against these guide rollers, and it just keeps the bale in a position where while it's wrapping. We got ourselves the hoop drive wheel, hoop motor. We got our standard brake that allows so it keeps the hoop in one position after the machine is shut down, so it locks it in the position. We've got our cut and holds on both this side and this. The cut and holds extend. We got the tongue. This is our tongue here. So in transport mode, this tongue actually swings in, comes into about here. So this lift arm actually lifts up and it rests on top of here. And our hoop is right here. So this piece here stays stationary. Our hoop rotates around the outside. And we've got hoop wheels here. And that's one thing to remember is make sure you keep those greased up. Very important. We got our ladder. So this ladder here is removable. You can just pop the pin open, take this ladder off, go to the left side of the machine, and you can place it in over there. Right door. You open up the door, we have a lock here. You just pull the pin, drop the lock in. This way the door doesn't swing back open while you're in here working on the machine. We have a spot in here where you can actually take the ladder, fold it up and lay it in here, and it's out of the way. So if you're not using the ladder, or if you're just driving with it, that's fine too. But if you want to actually store it somewhere, that's what it's meant for, is to store in here. And we do have that on the left-hand side too. These are our tensioners. This one here is set up as a twin wrap, so it allows two rolls of film. We have a roll that goes on here and a roll that goes on here. Basically all you're doing is pull the pin, pull the latch up, it opens up, you drop your roll in, and you snap it back in, and now this compresses up against the roll. And you do the same with our bottom one. You can open it up. So if you're getting a twin wrap, you'll have two rolls. If you're doing single, you only have one. Just make sure the doors are locked up. They're spring loaded. This here's our bale tipper. If you're using if you're wrapping a 4-foot wide bale, you can take this bar off and just rely on this piece. You don't need it, so just pop this bolt out and just take this self-tapper out, and you can remove this. You don't need it. But if you're doing 5-foot wide bales, you want this piece. These are our rear guide rollers. You leave them in place. You never have to move them. No matter if you're doing 4-foot wide bales or 5-foot, you automatically just leave these just where they are. If you are doing 5-foot wide bales, the only thing you move is that guide roller there. You take those two nuts out. Just pop these two nuts off and just slide it over into these two holes and tighten it back up, and now your guide roller is over. Down here we have cylinders. These cylinders are tucked up inside here, and that's for the rear roller. Got a tire on the back side of this tipper, and two guide rollers. They're the same style guide rollers we have in the chamber itself, so they're a direct replacement. And we have a cylinder underneath here that allows for that rear tipper. And then we have our rear roller motor here, and the front roller's got a motor on the other side, and we only have a sensor on one of the motors for the rollers. And here's our cut and hold, and we have a utility knife blade in behind here, and then there's a rubber piece in behind this steel plate. And so when this retracts, the rubber pushes up against the knife itself and cuts the film. So your film off, your tensioner goes across like this, and it pinches in here and it cuts off. So there's only a small little lead that comes off on the bail. Our transport lock. So this here is a mechanical lock that we use for the machine when we're actually out in the field. You can lock it out, so it's actually locked in. So that's locked in. So now as you're running in the field, if you blow a line on this cylinder, if the cylinder breaks, you're mechanically locked out, and so you're perfectly fine to keep operating. And then when you actually are ready for transport mode, you just open this up, you retract the cylinder, or sorry, extend the cylinder, and so then this becomes over here, and then you just lock it back up. And that way, if you have a line break or a cylinder break or anything, this mechanical lock will keep it in place versus it running out into traffic. We got our film rolls, extra rolls of storage, so you can put 4 rolls here just for storage. We got our jack for when you park the machine. You can just drop the jack down, you just pull the pin, rotate it, lock it, crank it up, and then you're good to go. You can pull the pin on the tractor. On the tractor itself, we have 2 large lines and we have 2 small lines. So the large lines are the main lines that run to the manifold, that run your whole operation. And these 2 are actually just to do with the tongue for when you're going into transport mode or into operating mode. So you activate the remotes, make sure you're 16 to 20 gallons a minute. And always have that hooked up to your remotes. We'll have our operator's manual inside this here, just so you can open up and have just read up on it. Yeah, so that is pretty much all the features we have on this machine. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call Tubeline or go on the website at www.tubeline.ca.